boy. Look at BigXThaPlug on my metal glasses. Man, they tripping, bro.
That clip captured everything. BigXThaPlug standing outside a Dallas strip club. New Year's confetti still scattered across the pavement. His voice shaking in pure disbelief. His homie had just been shot in the head. But what nobody expected was who allegedly leaked the footage, because it didn't come from his inner circle. And once you understand how that video got out, the whole situation takes on a completely different meaning. Let's break it down. New Year's Eve in Dallas turned into a nightmare. When you step into the club scene out there, especially on a night like that, you already know the energy can shift in seconds. The Dallas rap scene has been under pressure for years now, losing legends and watching beefs tear apart what could have been a united front. So when Pink House Dallas announced its grand opening for December 31st, 2025, people were excited. A brand new spot, fresh vibes, and some of the city's hottest artists pulling up to welcome 2026 in style. The lineup was heavy, and right at the top sat BigXThaPlug, the Dallas native who had been racking up plaques and crossing over into mainstream. If you've been sleeping on Big X, here's the quick rundown. He exploded out of the Dallas scene with a sound that blended Southern trap, with a country edge that caught everyone off guard. His track, Texas, went double platinum with over 330 million streams. Then, followed up and hit triple platinum. He was on a different path entirely, working with everyone from roaming to Jelly Roll, even tapping into that country rap crossover wave with Shabuzi. When his album I Hope You're Happy dropped in August 2025, it proved he wasn't just a viral moment. He was versatile, locked in, and built for longevity. Not everybody celebrates your wins. Some people don't clap. When you rise, they study you from the shadows. Waiting on the moment, they think you'll slip. And Big X had already been moving under heavy pressure long before that night ever came. Back in February 2025, he was hit with charge for unlawful firearm possession. Then again in August, same situation, pulled over with straps and some loud, forcing him to cancel album events and public appearances. The streets were buzzing, blogs were reporting, and the spotlight around his name was only getting hotter. But through all that noise, Big X never slowed down. He kept recording, kept performing, and kept his circle small and solid. And inside that circle, one name kept coming up right next to his: Z the Wizard. Born Zachary Cannon Grant Fields, though some records spell it differently, Z was just 25 years old, straight out Oak Cliff in South Dallas, and living a real come-up story. He wasn't supposed to be a rapper at first. His dream was the NFL. He played football until an injury shut that door. But instead of letting that break him, he redirected that hunger straight into music and found his purpose in the booth. Projects like The Prophet and Wiz, who as Z showed, he wasn't your typical Dallas rapper. Z focused on motivation, grind, and survival, not just dissing enemies or chasing clout. The Dallas Observer even named him one of the top 20 rappers to watch in the DFW area. And the numbers backed it up. Around 25,000 monthly Spotify listeners, building a loyal fan base brick by brick. Then came the moment every independent artist dreams of. In August 2025, Z signed to Future's Free Band's label, a major cosign. G Herbo showed him love. Rod Wave tapped in. And just like that, the road to mainstream success looked clearer than ever. A new Dallas movement was forming too. Artists like Zillionaire Doe, Montana 700, Head Honcho Amir, and Himothy Chung were all pushing a different narrative that Dallas rap could thrive without the internal beast that had haunted the scene ever since MO3's murder back in 2020. When New Year's Eve arrived and both Big X and Z pulled up to Pink House, a grand opening. It should have been nothing but a celebration. The clock was counting down to midnight. Bottles were popping. The club was packed with people ready to welcome the new year with live performances, loud music, and pure energy. Big X was there to shut the club down, and Z was right beside him as day one, his mentee, the homie he brought on tour and co-signed at every turn. The whole vibe that night was supposed to be about unity, about showing the world that Dallas artists could really support each other and rise together. But the streets don't take nights off, fam. They don't care about New Year's resolutions, fresh starts, or feel-good energy. Sometime between 3:45 and 3:50 a.m. on January 1st, 2026, everything changed in the parking lot. Reports say a dispute broke out. Some claim it started inside the club. possibly over Z throwing money during his performance. Others say it escalated once people stepped outside and words got exchanged. Whatever the spark was, the situation went from calm to chaos in seconds. Witnesses say several individuals approached Z, accusing him of stealing something that led to a physical altercation. And then, according to reports, guns were drawn possibly from vehicles parked nearby. Street talk mentions 2 pistols and even 2 ARs being involved. What happened next was straight mayhem. Gunfire erupted across that parking lot, and when the smoke settled, 5 people had been hit. 4 victims were rushed to hospitals in varying conditions, but the one who took the worst of it was Z the Wizard. He was struck multiple times, including a shot to the head. BigXThaPlug was still inside the club when the shooting started. Reports say he ducked behind the bar during the chaos and managed to make it out unharmed. But when he finally got outside and learned what happened to his boy, his reaction was captured in a moment that would soon spread across every platform imaginable. There he was, in an orange jacket, standing in that pink-lit parking lot, leaning against a car in total disbelief, saying, "Look at the plug, man, they tripping bro. He got hit in the head." A raw, unfiltered moment that showed just how real the situation was. That footage captured something that couldn't be staged or faked. Pure, unfiltered grief in real time. Big X standing there, trying to process the reality that his homie, the artist he had been building with, mentoring, and pushing forward, had just been shot in the head on a night that was supposed to be about celebration. The clip spread like wildfire, pulling in over 100,000 views across platforms as people shared it, commented on it, and speculated about what really happened. Meanwhile, the Dallas Police Department was flooded with over 750 calls that same night related to celebratory gunfire from New Year's Eve, which made it even harder to immediately isolate and investigate what happened at Pink House at the same time. Social media did what it always does, magnified everything. Facts got mixed with rumors, timelines blurred, and a real-life tragedy slowly turned into online spectacle. And that's when things got even darker, because somebody decided to take that disturbing footage and push it even further. Viral clips and street conspiracies. Whenever tragedy hits the hip-hop community, there's always a twisted side that follows. The vulture circle. The rumor mill spins. Suddenly, everybody with phone becomes an investigator, a journalist, or worse, an instigator. What happened in the days after the Pink House shooting was a perfect storm of grief, speculation, and internet chaos that would leave permanent scars on everyone involved. First, let's talk about Z the Wizard's condition. Early reports started spreading like wildfire, claiming Z had died at the scene. But his affiliates, including Montana 700, quickly shut that down online, urging people to stop spreading false information and asking for prayers because he was still alive and fighting. While the internet argued, Z's family was living a nightmare deal with the trauma of almost losing him, while also having to fight fake death announcements across social media. Z was on life support, hanging on while doctors worked around the clock. For several agonizing days, the entire Dallas rap community helped Z the Wizard ultimately succumbed to his injuries. Just 25 years old, a father, and an artist on a rise who had just secured a major label deal, gone because of what appears to have been a senseless parking lot altercation. The loss sent shockwaves through the industry as tributes poured in from across the hip-hop world, and streams of Z's music surged, with fans old and new trying to connect with his catalog one last time. But while real mourning was happening, something darker began to form online. That viral clip of BigXThaPlug reacting in shock after learning Z had been shot in the head became the center of swirling rumors, with some claiming his so-called Opps were spreading the footage to taunt and disrespect him, and others pushing the narrative that the shooting was meant for Big X himself, and that Z tragically caught what wasn't intended for him. However, there is no confirmed evidence supporting those claims. The clip spread the way emotional and shocking moments often do in the smartphone era, shared by hip-hop outlets, blogs, and regular users across social media. Police have not confirmed any targeted hit, and no proof has surfaced showing that rivals orchestrated the leak or the narrative around it. Yet that didn't stop conspiracy theories from multiplying, some becoming reckless and extreme, showing just how dangerous internet speculation can become when tragedy collides with clout chasing. Some people online took things even further. On YouTube and Facebook, users began breaking down grainy parking lot footage frame by frame, claiming it showed Big X firing the shot that hit Z in the head. A whole narrative formed suggesting there had been an internal dispute over money, music deals, or personal issues that led to betrayal at the highest level. But let's be absolutely clear. There is no forensic or verified evidence supporting this theory. The footage being analyzed is shaky, filmed at night, and captured during what multiple sources describe as an exchange of gunfire involving more than one party. Big X and Z the Wizard were publicly close, not just collaborators, but real friends. Big X mourns Z openly online, and by all reliable accounts, their relationship was solid. Dallas police have not implicated Big X in any way, and as of January 15, 2026, no charges have been filed against him or anyone in his circle. Still, the internet did what it does. Big X's past gun-related arrests were used to fuel speculation that he was capable of violence, and critics began connecting dots that likely don't connect, comparing the situation to other famous betrayals in hip-hop history. Echo chambers took over, and suddenly a grieving man was being accused of something unthinkable. Another theory that gained traction was a targeted hit narrative, the idea that the shooting was meant for Big X because of his rising fame, platinum success, crossover collaborations, and growing influence in Dallas, but that he tragically ended up catching the bullets instead. Supporters of this theory pointed to jealousy, unresolved street tensions, and the pressure that comes with being at the top, suggesting someone may have been motivated to make a move.